It's fine because nobody join anyway.
Recording, if you're ready. There's Millie. All right, welcome everybody. We're all set. Everyone all set? Okay, let's get going then. Welcome to the July 31st, 2025 Monroe County Planning Board meeting. The meeting is being recorded. Just a reminder, we have some minutes to approve and a couple applications to review, and just some news from board members as well. So let me take a call here. Bill Santos, Mike Wiedemer, Andrew Hollister, Orlando Rivera here, Dave Watson here, Millie Safranik, Robert Colby, Rachel Barnhart, Jeff McCann, Adrian Green, Amy Grower, Connor McMahon, Jennifer Cesario, Joe Taddeo, Richard Tantallo, Christina Doherty, good afternoon, Sean Murphy, and Andy Fraser. And you, Sean, would you like to introduce staff and yes?
Yes, so we have Department of Transportation Director Tom Price here to have an agenda item. So we also have our law department Josh Peterson here and Vincent from finance, and also have our MCC guests, Quinn Rowe and Tony, to answer questions regarding the MCC project. And for planning staff, we want to welcome Grace Sherburn. She is our new planner in our department, and she will, supporting our planning project. And you might see her in our planning board once in a while to help out. And of course, Lisa Hangchun here to help out our logistic and helping a lot of meeting material. We have Pat here. Pat Goop here. Go and we'll see him. And myself, Ishan Lin, secretary to the board.
Great, thank you, Ishan. My name is Bill Santos. I didn't say that in the beginning. The first item on the agenda is approval of the June 26, 2025 meeting minutes they were emailed to you. I need a motion for that, please. Thank you, Orlando. Is there a second? Second. Who was it?
Second.
Joe. Okay, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Any discussion on those? Any changes? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Guys have it. Announcements and communications. Any, I think a couple items Sean has.
So we have some member updates. Most of you knows, Bob Franklin is retired. So, Jennifer Cesario, take over her position, become the CFO for the county. So Jennifer is on vacation this week, but she look forward to join us next month. And Joe Taddeo remain to be the alternate for the finance. Thanks, Joe, to come in today.
Right.
And I'm, Bill, you wanna announce?
Oh, sure. So I received a note. We've been talking to Sam Trapani. He's very busy. He decided to resign. He's got multiple inventions that he works on over at Sterilitz, and it's the sterilization products that go inside of hospital rooms when they clean the person out, and they sterilize the room. He's got those a number of inventions that sterilize the room when you're done. So they just came out with a new one, and he's got his hands full, so he had to resign. So it was sad to see him leave, but we on that note, I just signed a couple letters to just remind the legislature that we've got a handful of people that terms have expired, and we need to renew those. So I recommended renewal of all those. Plus, we've got a couple of vacancies. So one is like a planning board, zoning board list that we've sent through, that we're going to send through, is with options of people that are available. And then the other is another, like I think a county exec.
Yes, so we have two vacancies right now. One is county executive appointments, and that needs to be a planning board or zoning board of peers members. And so now we need someone to fill in same seat, and that's only need to be a citizen member appointed by the county legislature.
Yeah, so that second one, the legislative appointment, just needs to be a citizen of the county, right? No requirements to be a planning board or zoning board member of the towns.
For this vacancy.
Good. So we've sent two separate letters for that. So any other announcements or communications from board members, staff? Okay, great. If not, we'll move on to action items. The first item is to amend the 2025 capital budget to increase the project authorization in the amount of $350,000 from $3,030,000 to $3,380,000 for a total project authorization of $3,380,000 for the project entitled Monroe County Traffic Signal Replacements Group 1 project in the town of Reese in the city of Rochester. I need a motion for that, please. Thank you, Sean. Is there a second? Thank you, David. And Mr. John, you're here. Huh? Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Surprise.
Thank you. Yeah, basically the project involves 7 different signals. 5 of them are on Dewey Avenue, 2 of them are on Ridgeway Avenue. The extra costs are primarily just due to increased costs from when we originally scoped the project. The scope really hasn't changed much, other than we added a second cabinet at Mount Reed and Ridgeway, which is negligible. And there's additional 2-inch conduit that we added to separate our city street lighting feed from the signal. Again, negligible cost.
Mhm.
So that's the reason for it. The low bid actually came in lower than the engineer's estimate. So it's really just, we scoped it a while ago and costs went up, and
Yeah.
so that's where we're at.
No huge changes, it looks like, and these are hard numbers, so
Yes.
yeah. Any questions for Tom?
Sorry, earlier I tried to pull out this map, but Tom tried to share with Bob. Those are all the locations of the traffic signals included in this project.
These high disturbance area, high traffic areas or accident areas, or
Not particular, well, I'm sure
they're just end of life. It's like
it's
time.
more end of life.
Yeah.
Exactly. And these are the more troublesome signals we've had.
Okay,
Two of them do happen to be in the city of Rochester, but we try to be good working partners with the city.
sure.
So that's why they're included in this project, and it's negligible cost of the county.
Second chance, any questions for Tom? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, the ayes have it. Thank you, Tom. The second item on the agenda is, under action items, is to amend the 2025 through 2030 CIP and the 2025 capital budget to expand the scope of and increase the funding for the project entitled Improve Safety of Downtown Campus Entrance by $175,000 from $570,000 to up to $745,000. And I need a motion for that, please.
Okay, motion.
Thank you. Okay, great. Rachel and Richard, thank you for those. MCC.
There you go. Well, it would be
Oh,
me.
Sean.
Yeah, I'd rather sit in the back. So this is just a typical letter to the board. The next slide gives an example of what we're trying to solve here is the buildings have been hit several times by vehicles careening through the intersection.
Really?
Yeah. I think, are you up to 9 times now? 9 times.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's one you can see they hit the pole for the traffic signal there. Somebody knocked that pole over, so that's just one example of what's going on there. So back, next slide, 2021 master plan. Traffic calming was identified for this front entry, and it's difficult to see, but that sort of brownish area up in the top, they actually talked about closing that area off and then rerouting traffic around. So that was the concept that was developed in the master plan, the budget that was established for that. When we created the capital fund, we took that number, escalated it to a project time of this year. But as you went into design, found out that the project was going to be a little bit more. That's why the increase for the 175. So the next slide shows how we're doing. Go ahead.
So sorry to
Yeah, go
interrupt.
back.
So if you can go back one. So the parking lot that is just, say, I think to the west, we're kind of facing northwest here, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's
So-
Maury Silver Drive,
Okay.
Yeah.
And the ballpark is to the left.
upper left corner.
And some of the parking that we use for baseball or whatever is in that lot, just the upper page.
Right.
Okay.
Lot B, they call it Kodak Lot B.
Okay.
That's Lot C, just in
Okay.
the lower left-hand corner,
Okay.
right? So it's
Yep.
Maury Silver goes from the upper left to the lower right, and then North Plymouth goes from the upper left to the upper right, which you can't
Okay.
really see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's State Street in the bottom. So this is an image that shows a bunch of other improvements that were going on. Some improvements, landscaping improvements to the deck and some other areas, enhancements. But the primary focus for us was safety of people getting into the campus without getting beaten by a car or getting hurt. So there was a fatality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that wasn't, I don't think it was related to us. I think it's somebody that was intoxicated or something, but
Okay.
certainly one of the concerns the campus has is not only the building getting hit, but the fact that there's so many students out there watching
Sure.
that way to parking. There's a bus stop around that corner. Just the desire to not only stop hitting the building, but not having any further fatalities in this area.
So we park, sorry, MCC parks where? Right here on the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. So is it still the plan that there would be no traffic anymore, through traffic on it?
No, that's not what was designed, right? So I'm explaining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's
sorry.
what was put in the master plan. But now that we're actually into design, it's a different concept. It's to keep the through traffic will still continue through, and I'll show you what improvements we're making to avoid further accidents. All right, so then on the next slide, there's two phases. One is called arresting red. So there's a camera system that's installed up on the pole that's meant as a traffic calming device. So as vehicles are approaching the light, this camera detects how fast they're coming, where they're approaching, if there's vehicles coming from the other side, and essentially switches the lights red or green depending upon what kind of activity is going on at the site. So there's actually two things. One is resting red, the other is rest in red. If you ever drive down there, you'll notice that both lights are always red. Generally speaking, if nobody is driving down there today, both sides, both heading north on Plymouth and east on Maury Silver, would both be red. But as a vehicle approaches, it determines how fast they're coming, which one has priority, and then we'll change the light green to allow that traffic to go through. And if a car is coming too fast and the light's green, it'll turn the light red in order to slow them down before they get to the intersection.
That's how it is now?
This is the new device that was just installed.
Okay.
And we did this in coordination with DOT. They used their term contractors and installed this device and are monitoring it right now. And actually, if you go to the next page, it's all data driven. This gives you information about the traffic counts, the number of vehicles that come through there any given time of day. The next slide will show you, it's very difficult to see, but there's data points where they can determine how many vehicles are actually at that critical zone. For this one analysis they did, there were 292 times when a vehicle was just close enough where it could have caused an issue if they didn't change the light sequence for the traffic signal. So that's the first phase, is to do the major traffic calming. Our engineer looked at a couple different ways to do this. The idea is that when someone's coming down Maury Silver, they come off of 490 or they're coming off of Broad Street, it's this wide open space, they see a light at Plymouth, and they see another one at State Street. It's like, well, I'm gonna make the one at State Street, I'm just gonna gun it down the road there. So traffic calming is an important aspect of this. Our engineer looked at a couple different ways to try to calm the traffic down, and one is simple one is just putting a bunch of trees along, which gives you a tunnel effect and makes you slow down a little bit more. The others putting in speed bumps, raised sidewalks, crosswalks, those types of things. But in consultation with DOT and the Traffic Control Board, this was determined to be the best solution. This in combination with the second phase we'll talk about here in a second. So then the second phase is actually making some physical improvements to the street itself. So as you know, right now there's 3 lanes. Let's see, I don't want to say this. There's 3 lanes that come from Maury Silver in front of MCC. So we're going to reduce that to 2 lanes, right? So as you're driving east, the left 2 lanes will stay open. The right lane will be bumped out, and then there'll be a little jog in where people can pull and get people off, and then the other 2 vehicles will just keep going. And then as you're heading north on Plymouth, there's 2 lanes going north, 1 lane coming south. The 1 lane will just keep going north. The right lane will then turn a right lane only, again, to try to restrict the number of vehicles that are going through there and trying to slow people down as they're going through that area. And then the light right in front of MCC, you see it flashes when someone comes up and presses the button. Well, unfortunately, people don't press the button too often. So we're changing the physical button to a sensor button. So when someone walks up, it'll just automatically flash. And then we're going to also put some ADA compliant lights, traffic, pedestrian lights at the intersection of Maury Silver and North Plymouth. So if you go on to the next one, this will pretty much show you what we're doing. You see that?
That's mechanical difficulty.
Oh, there you go, technical difficulties,
Yeah,
thank you.
I couldn't enlarge this map, so, sorry. I will, those map will send it to
Yeah, just leave it there because I've got a couple other details that shows that. So essentially, north is pretty much up. So North Plymouth is going straight up. Maury Silver comes from the left to the right. So we're putting some crosswalks, painted crosswalks. We're not doing raised crosswalks because those are more difficult. The fire department doesn't like it. They're tough to maintain. Yeah. And then we're taking the far right-hand lane, becomes a right-hand only lane. You can see, kind of see the bump outs, and that'll show up in another drawing here. And then some improvements to the signals themselves. So on this next drawing, the next drawing actually shows you, this is the going around the corner. You can see the right turn only arrow in the lower left-hand corner. So as traffic's going up, they'll slow as they go around the corner. You can see the bump out where they could pull off and discharge students out of the traffic lane. And then if you go to the next one, you'll see then there's another bump out, and this is right in front of the campus. So actually what that does then, instead of crossing 3 lanes of traffic, they're only crossing 2 lanes of traffic, plus the traffic coming towards them is being slowed down by the traffic calming device with the rest in red light. And then as they walk up to this from either out of the campus itself or out of the parking lot, the lights will just flash automatically without them having to press a button. So this project has been bid. CACM East got the low bid. They've actually went through the ledge and was awarded. And so we've got bid certainty. So the amount of money we're asking for is then to account for the bid certainty and the additional cost associated with the bids we received. And it's going through contract HQ right now. We expect to get the contracts going as quickly as possible. Our goal was to get it for the campus before fall of this year. Not really going to make it, but the rest in red does a significant portion of the traffic calming. These are other improvements for pedestrian safety of people going across the street at this point. Pretty much it.
Okay, so questions for Sean or MCC?
Or FCC and Sean. we can do it that way.
MCC and Sean.
Or Tom. I mean,
Tom,
come on.
right, exactly, yeah. I do. So phase 1, the sensors and the traffic calming equipment, that has the same effect as, or similar effect as, I'm going back to closing that section of the road down, comparing that from to the original master plan. Is DOT happy with that so far?
Yeah, no, yeah, the results are
Yeah.
proving that it's safer, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the cons on the master plan was that you lose another traffic,
We just have to reroute traffic all over the place, right? So you got one way.
causes
going to
more
Morrisville,
congestion
one way-
elsewhere. Yeah,
Right.
right.
And not a difficult time, but we had enough iterations going back to the traffic control board with traffic counts and any other things. I think closing that section of the road would almost be a non-starter, I would think, because that's a pretty major road going down through there. And it's only one way coming on Brown, so Brown would have to be changed over, probably to 2-way, so, yeah. You know, it's land planners and architects. What else is stuff? Yeah.
No, I thought it was a good idea because, you know, on a campus, you want to be able to kind of be free of traffic, you know, on a normal campus, you're thinking it's pedestrian and maybe cycling and things like that. So that's where, but if you can't make it work, you can't make it work. So, yeah.
Yeah, but related to that, I was just curious as to what the perception was at MCC, particularly, you know, have you heard any feedback from like students or anything along those lines?
Yes, thanks for asking. This is probably, after the Advanced Technology Center, this is probably the hottest project or hottest topic on campus.
Yeah.
I am asked about it regularly. And every time there was another accident, you know, it became like an even hotter topic. So, you know, students really wanted, you know, we had a person who was hit at the cross section in the crosswalk. Maybe a year ago. And, you know, that really, you know, got people worked up and worried. And this project, I can't give it up to the DES and DOT for girls. It's a very complicated project to pull off because of all the different groups involved and the process of it all. But to get to this plan, which is a fantastic plan, and it does meet the need. I mean, it would be great to be able to close it and have a discussion. But to be able to reduce something to the goal of is close the traffic down. One of our biggest issues parked right in front of the campus to let people out or to unload vehicles.
Right.
So to have a loading zone on the other side, we'll free that up. So we don't have cars kind of zipping around and hitting people that they can't see. And even, you know, it's great that we have the flashing crosswalk light there now, but many people will just cross without pushing it because they see an opening. They just want to go when they can. So to have the light automatically flash is huge for us. This really is one of the most important projects that we're going to do here at the and that is, you know, we're going to save someone at least one life, just by we've had so many phone calls. We are really excited to make the project happen, and it can't happen soon. arresting red light went in, we were clear, and unfortunately that, you know, the ticket, 0 incidents since whenever.
Yeah.
But, you know, we had a really good run, with arresting red, and it only get better.
What was the reason for the billing getting hit? What is,
It's people, for the last one. Yeah, I think they just didn't see it, and that's one of the challenges we talked about. Yeah, we talked about it with PLC, and that we could look at a phase 3 where we change the signaling of the light at State Street so that it stays red too, so
yeah,
that a person isn't enticed to
yeah,
try to get to that light.
through greens, yeah,
Yeah, but
right.
it was, you know, just an unfortunate, it's always, you know, not always, but, you know,
Yeah.
user error.
Yes.
When the. I mean, I've lived through all the iterations of this, and this, it was a fantastic solution to a very complicated problem.
Is there a way for there to be, reds when people are trying to cross the street so that, you know, they can feel like they can cross safely?
At the main intersection, yes, but not at the,
Not right in front
Right
of
in
the
front of the
building
school,
where
right.
people are gonna be mostly crossing.
And the other part of this is we have to coordinate the construction this season to correspond to what's going on with Red Wings. Right, because we
Yes.
can't be digging up the road right in the middle of their 2-week homestand.
Yeah.
We have to coordinate that whole thing, which is unfortunately gets us delayed a little bit farther into the fall, but you know,
Yeah.
we don't want to upset the Red Wings. And they'll see some benefit too, right? Because they
will.
counted about
Absolutely.
people zipping down through there. So having the light red all the time, unless someone's actually approaching it, makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Red Wings as well, is because, you know, you'll have large groups of people that are crossing for events, and they have to have those crossing guards, but even with the crossing guards that are there, it could be a little bit hazardous crossing the
Right,
street. So what's causing the difference increase in the project costs?
Well, again, the primary estimate was based on an estimate back in
Very different.
2020, right?
Okay.
It was pretty much just painting the street, being done with it.
Okay.
So by the time we actually implemented the resting red, we used the
Mhm.
original budget for that. And then when we went out and did the final design in consultation with the traffic control board, with the curb cuts and everything else went along with it, then that's where it exceeded the budget when we got the hard bids.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say it was only 100 some odd thousand, but you know, it's like 30% of what the overall budget was.
Sure.
So it's a big percent, but it's a small dollar.
Scope increase.
Yeah, and in consideration of what the safety demands are there, it's probably all best.
And I think this is one of DOT's relatively first with this. This is a camera system versus I think other technologies use. So they're going to get some information out of it that they can use at other intersections also.
Yeah, I would
Right.
hope so. Is this camera system set up in any other places around the county, or it's the first one?
I mean, we have other cameras that detect traffic,
Yeah.
head counts, vehicle counts.
Mhm.
We use them instead of the loops, you know, when we do the loops cut the
Yeah.
asphalt, we use cameras now.
Okay,
But
interesting.
this is the first rusted reds.
Yeah. I can think of a number of places and groups that would love to see this type of technology come in.
This, the near miss, the technology, we have been talking about the vision, near mix.
Yeah, we don't have the near miss technology yet, or that's the route we're trying to proceed toward using. Because a lot of times people are like, oh my God, there's been so many near misses here, but it's like, oh, the accident reports there hasn't been a single accident.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can't act on no accident. So
Right.
technology is out there now that we're starting to pursue where you can detect near misses. And you can actually
Okay.
prove, then you can actually prove,
Mhm.
yes, it was a near miss. Okay, then maybe we should try to do something.
I know that you had mentioned the number of vehicles that you track and monitor with the new light system. My question is on the opposite end, a student access, how many students have been using that portal to get to and from, and has that number increased or decreased?
As far as using the push button across the street.
Yeah.
Yes, or that access.
So the,
Are they-
How many students are using that access and entrance?
oh, all of them. That is really our only entrance in the building.
So basically, any student that enters will come through that exit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, okay. So you're talking 3,000 trips across that street at a minimum a day. Okay, thank you.
And what's the timeline on? So phase one is already complete.
Right, that's been in for 6 months, if not longer.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
great.
So the next one, the contract's already been awarded, already through the ledge. So we're gonna get under construction within the next few weeks, but again, we gotta coordinate that with when the Red Wings have their homestand versus being out of. But they're normally here for a week, gone for a week. I think as we're coming up, they're actually here for 2 weeks and then gone for 2 weeks, which is a good time for us to jump in there, get some significant amount. And I mean, I don't wanna minimize it, but it's really curb work initially, so it's fairly quick, fairly straightforward. Without the raised sidewalk, there's no additional drainage or anything else we have to do. It is really a lot of just surface type work that has to happen, and then striping and those types of things.
And is there a communication plan for the students once the project is, you know, cross the safety of crossing, cross, all that sort of thing, just for their own?
Yeah, we'll definitely be communicating throughout the construction and highlight what the changes are in not just the students, but the board president and other members of our community have been informed and kept up to date on this, but don't want to roll it out until
It's all, you know, for sure.
Right, the Academy as a contractor, I think they do this all the time. That's their primary work, so it's not like we have an uneducated or difficult contractor that doesn't understand how to do road work and all that, so we feel confident with that also.
How many, you have a lot of same side stops, people dropping off, you mentioned right in front of the building in the same lane. Is that, so you feel that the new lane, the new drop off area across the street is going to be effective, or do you think people will still stop in front?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a learning curve,
Yeah.
and signage and there'll be a learning curve before people stop doing it, especially delivery trucks more than people. We'll have to.
Is there a bike lane there so you won't, any westbound traffic, you're not going to block? I know you're not supposed to be in a bike lane with a vehicle, so, but delivery trucks, things like that, is there going to be enforcement to move them along or around the corner?
We've had our public safety out there, but we don't have enough staff to get someone out there all day. We tried, stand with boards and things. They last for as long as the weather holds up.
Sure.
But yeah, they'll definitely be like with any new traffic pattern, they get the stop sign out with orange flags. There'll be a retraining period for sure. But we're all really excited about it and know that eventually those folks will get it.
Learn the pattern,
Get out of the way. And it won't be as easy, with 3 lanes there. I think they just feel confident they can park there and they're not building traffic. They're not thinking about the fact that now traffic can't see a person coming out of our building.
Yeah.
And once they know, like, it's a lot easier to go over the holding zone over here.
Do we have cameras for that area in case you do have an incident?
We can, our public.
Someone parks there on the right? Someone comes out of the building, they can't, and then a car comes and can't see the pedestrian. Is there,
Yeah, our public safety has eyes on the road and they're able to go back and, when they did have the person get that, they had to go up.
Okay. Any other questions? Last chance. Any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Nice to have it. Thank you. Any other business? Thanks. Nice job. Appreciate it. Any other business from board members or staff? Hearing none, our next scheduled meeting is August 21st at our regular time of 3:30 right here, this location. I think I'm gonna have to reach out to Mike. I think I'm out of town. So with that, I need a motion for adjournment. Thank you, Rachel. Is there a second? Thank you, Millie. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Have a great rest of your summer, everybody.
Thank you.